Good evening. Oh no, my mic's off on Twitch. That's great. Let's make sure it's on YouTube while we're at it. And it is on YouTube, it's just Twitch. But good evening. Everybody, welcome back. Unfortunately, we are starting a little bit later than would be ideal, but that is mainly the fault of EA being silly. Oh well, but we're live now. We've got round number 2 of season number 3 taking place in Las Vegas. I'm still trying to sort things out because I am hosting today, so right, anyway. We've got laps just beginning. We've got Spitfire Boy through the first sector. There are a couple of cars in the pit lane. I don't know if any of them are able to... Oh, there's also... We've got Spitfire Boy taking us through the first sector. I don't have a track map. And my audio's all wrong. This is going wonderfully well. Let's stick player car up a bit. It's not changed because it's... Oh well. It's improved a bit. Let me get a track map. There it is. Spitfire Boy now taking us, by the time we get to watching his lap, he's taking us down all the way down the famous strip into the final chicane, turns 14, 15 and 16, he gets it stopped, rotated, and back on the power as soon as possible, because it's a long run still, all the way to the line. Sorry, had to cut off Spitfire's lap. Is a 131.9. How does one pronounce that name? No, he's gone fast with a 131.3 on his. And that's his debut here. Toya. Bro, I don't. Mike's gone second with a 131.5. I am being very distracted and I can only apologise for that, but I'm rather busy. You've got Gellert's coming around the last corner, using up all the remaining batteries. He comes across the line. And he goes into P4 with a 131.8, half a second off the current P1 time. But it's all fairly close in that sort of part of the field. Just posting it up there was EJ with a 32.4. To go 2 tenths off, Samu up ahead of him. Then we have the Racing Bulls, who's just on his way back to the pit lane. Hopefully, we've got 2 drivers that we're hoping will be able to join. We might have some problems later if they can't around the actual race. Hoping that they can get in at least to be able to start the race. But that being said, we've had most of those first runs completed. Got Samuel Sasso there just starting his second run. He's closely followed by Sammy, who is coming into the pit lane. And thankfully, Spitfire Boy does seem to be able to get the two drivers into the session, which would be really well appreciated if he can. Had lots of issues with invites over at EA. But if we can get all 13 drivers in the lobby, that would be amazing. And we do truly appreciate Spitfire Boy helping us out here. There's Mystics taking us through. Ooh, someone's gone off there. That's Samuel, who's gone straight into the runoff area. At turn number 5. Don't know if he's got any damage. He doesn't seem to, so he's just bailed out of the attempt. Mystic takes us down the Vegas Strip, using all that battery that he's got saved up. And just blasting at full speeds, 330 up to 340, maybe even 350 kilometers an hour before he's going to try and spot that breaking point for turn number 14. Seems to have got it stopped fairly well. Back on the power as soon as possible, of course, to get that best run all the way to the line. And now it's the burning of the last of the battery that he's got saved up before he comes across the line. And it's P6 with a 132.1. 2 tenths off Spitfire Boy ahead of him. And just narrowly ahead of Sammy behind. We've got Ian just starting a run. We've got Hearts through the first sector as well. He's running cockpit cam today. I'm aware of that much. And he's taking us through the start of the middle sector through turn 9, back on the power as soon as he can for another run. All the way down into turn 12. No DRS through this section of the circuit because of the curving nature of it, but definitely could be with the distance. He's going to get it stopped for turn number 12, back on the power as soon as he can. And now it's the blast. All the way down the strip into turn 14. Comp 6 has managed to join the session. Hopefully, Rivs Racing can do the same in just a second, because I think both of them will be challenging somewhere towards the front. Hearts isn't enabling his DRS, which is interesting. I don't know if he just didn't notice it. He's going to get it stopped as well for the final corner. And it's back on the power for the blast to the line. He is going to stay towards the left, but he doesn't peel into the pit lane. Round the last corner he comes. And it's P9 with 32.6. Most of that time will be in the fact that he just didn't use the DRS down, not the main straight, but the longest straight of the circuit. Possibly not the pit straight, but the main straight. Charts 3 tenths up through that first sector. We've got a few other drivers on laps as Riv Racing has been able to join the session. So we'll have 13 drivers taking part, and it's on a 131.4. As my mind's been completely on other things so far in this qualifying session. I'm going to try and get a bit more into it now that I can. What team should Comp 6 be in? It should be Red Bull. As Mike's just beginning what will be his second run of the session with 7.5 minutes to go. But we follow Charter. She's coming up to the line. 2 tenths up at the moment. Could send her right to the top. And she does. Improve by 4 tenths to go fastest with a 131.250. But how long will that time last? Story coming across the line. 30.4. This is a big margin out front now. Big margin there. Samu jumps up into P5 with 31.6. What can Mike do as last week's pole sitter, last week's race winner, led every lap of that race? and he's up on his time at the moment by a couple of tenths as he heads through the middle sector, going to try and get a stop for turn 12, and then back on the power as soon, as early, and as forcefully as possible to get that run all the way down into turn 14. He's 5-6 tenths up on his personal best. He's going to need a bit more than that, though, if he wants to go to that provisional P1 position. He's 1.1 seconds behind as things stand. A lot of time is going to need to be found as Comp 6 is just disconnected from the session as he only just got back in. But around the last couple of corners comes Mike. Back on the power again. And now it's the blast to the line. What can he do? Last week's race winner comes across the line to go P2. 3.5 tenths off for that provisional P1 time. The only other driver on a lap at the moment is Samuel. He's coming down the Vegas Strip, coming in towards turn number 14, wanting to obviously maximise every little bit on that exit that he can manage. But he's running low on battery. He's got high percentage but low lap specific deployment as he does run out, and that's going to cost him a lot of time for all the way to the flag. Samuel across the line. He goes P11 with a 134.5. Need. Oh, Maris get a grid penalty. I didn't. Oh, both Racing Bull drivers have got grid penalties, and one of them is on provisional pole. Oh wow, that's really going to affect the battle at the front. Rivs Racing taking us through turn number 12 at the moment. He's going to be looking to be up in the sharp end in this race with only 13 drivers. Got the opportunity to be up there. He's backed off. Rivs Racing has backed off his time. He's not happy with what he's doing so far. He's probably going to head back to the pits and he's going to head back to the pits and see what he can do on a final run. So with 3.5 minutes to go, this will be the start of those final runs. The driver's just heading out onto them now. As Mystic comes across the line, improves on P5 with 131.5. Not far off. A tenth to A and a couple tenths to Charlotte. But I don't know if he'll have the time to recharge the battery and go again. Hart's just starting. Well, oh no, he's just finished what will likely be his final lap. It's 131.8. With 3 minutes to go, he probably won't have the time to return to the pits. But he might have the time to... No, he's got no fuel. That's going to be the best that Hart's can do in this session. He's going to be P8 at best, but with Spitfire Boy less than a tenth behind him, I imagine he will be taken down a place. Mikey is currently being beaten, but... grid penalty, because there was a little bit of a collision. So there's 2 5-place grid penalties, I believe. So, although Mike's P2 at the moment, he is on net provisional pole. Oh, Comp 6 just hit the wall at the final corner. He doesn't seem to have any damage. but that's not going to help his run, which is going to affect him all the way around the start of that lap. So Mystic's chucking it over the curbs. Probably won't have time to come back in the pits. Doesn't have fuel either. Yeah, that's going to be the last that we see of Mystic in this qualifying session. Won't have the time to go again. And doesn't have the fuel to stay out on track. Here comes Charlotte around the final corner. To start what will be her final lap of the session with 1 minute and 30 to go. These will now be the final runs of the session. Won't have time to back off and go again. This is it. Takes us through the first couple of corners. Almost just flat out as you dare. Through turn 3 is a big hit in the wall. And that's Charlotte's session done. She's going to be P3 at the very best. And with a 131.2, could see her fall down a couple of places. And there in... Oh, God, yeah, they would be. Oh, dear. Okay. Now Mike's taking us in through the first sector. He's... Okay, he's just hitting the wall. Yeah, there's... Nice way to route doing those. We follow on board with Ian, taking us into turn number 5 is going to get it stopped. Rotated as early as he dares. Back on the power again. And is into the left-hand flick of turn 7 into 8. Followed by 9. He's going to get it stopped. Rotated. Back on the power as soon as he can. Keeps within the lines. And it's through the flick of turn number 9. He's saving as much battery as he dares for later in the run. But he's going to get it stopped. Rotated. Back on the power on the exit of 12. There's a bit of a slide, but he's kept it in a straight line. He's 2/10 up on his personal best. That would see him into the top 3 as things stand. What can Ian do? Can he send himself ahead of Charlotte? Can he send himself even further if he finds the time in the last sector? Toy's coming into the pit lane, but he's got that 5-place grid penalty, which we may or may not carry over. I'm not too sure. Mike's in the pits as well. Here comes Ian. Round the last corner across the line. And can he go into the top 3? Yes, he can. It's a 131.2. And he's going to be third on the starting grid. We wait for EJ to... Circom 6 will be the last across the line. He's just finished a lap. And we are going to have to... just need to check things. So I believe that pole from Torah is going to stand. so it just I just need to make sure Samuel retires. There we go. It's just Mike and Charlotte, the last two. No issues here at all, what do you mean? I really have an issue with procrastination when it comes to making thumbnails. I always do it in the lobby. Even for other places, I always just do the thumbnails in the lobby. It's really bad. And then I wonder why things go badly. Here we go then. The formation lap is underway. Alright. The formation lap's underway. Toy's leading them around the lap. Again, don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. He's going to have to tell me if it's not. But we've got a race ahead of us. Almost every driver on the medium compound tyre. Spitfire Boy, the only exception. He's on the hards, down in P10. But a major portion of this race is going to be whoever stays out of the walls will... Whoever keeps out the walls will be in the best chance of getting the result, of course. Ooh. Did you just collide with Mike? Wouldn't seem so. Neither of them got reset. Looks an awful lot like they did, though. So they're going to be parking up on the starting grid. Tor and pole. Mike on the front row alongside him. It's a reserve 1-2. Mike's had a spin. First and second of the two reserve drivers here tonight. Tor is on his debut. Mike for his second race. 2 in a row. Looking to extend his championship lead after the win in Qatar. So they all park up on the grid. And we await the 5 red lights. Here we go! 25 laps here in Las Vegas ahead of the drivers. 5 red lights. It's lights out, and away we go. Mike's got a pretty good start as he gets a bit of wheel spin in the second phase, though. Ty covers him off and leads into the first corner. Mike has to settle for second. He pushes that in wide as he runs right up to the edge of the racetrack. There's 3 wide behind them, but they all seem to have made it through the first couple of corners cleanly. Ty leads, Mike second, Ayn in third, and Shart in fourth, all staying as they were at the front. Rivs Racing getting in a bit of a battle with Mystic. Stays there in P5. They all seem to have stayed pretty much as they were through the first couple of corners. Contact behind. Hart's going in very deep. Makes contact with the Red Bull. He spins around. That's Rivs Racing facing the wrong way at turn number 5. And just as I was saying that all seem to have been going cleanly, something had to go wrong. That's not the right thing. That should have opened there. There we go. Something was going to go wrong. Something did go wrong. And Rivs Racing was turned around. through no fault of his own. He seemed to have a fairly standard start, was in a perfectly normal position. Just had that contact. Gellets and Hearts now going side by side. Someone's in the wall. That's Mystic, who's lost a wheel facing the wrong way. And it's only a virtual safety car deployed because the game is awful. Mystic's out of the race on lap 1. And that's not the way you want to end your debut race. Gellets and Samu seem to be squabbling over illegal overtakes. There's damage there for Samu, who's going to have to come into the pit lane at the end of lap 1. He's going to have to change that front wing. Oh, he's sped in the pits as well. To just further compound the misery. As we go green again, though, around the middle of turn 4 for these leaders. As Joy gets a good restart. Leads away from Mike. With Aiden keeping close behind. Chart's dropped back to 1.2 seconds, but she does have DRS here, which might allow her to stay a little bit closer. EJ and Gellert going side by side. As the Alpine tries to go around the outside, there's a bit of contact as he got a bit sideways on the exit, but I think he's made that move done. He's not got it quite yet, though. They're still side by side into the globe section as EJ runs right the way wide and gets that 5th place. But did he go off the track in doing so? Don't know why I said globe, it's the sphere. Same difference. These guys fighting as Samu's now left the session. Oh, Gellert tried to lunge it up the inside at turn number 12. That was never really going to work. I don't think that was his intention. I think it's just kind of how it ended up happening. Now Gellert will get the DRS on EJ as they all go head to toe down the strip. And who's going to come out ahead by the time they get to the end of it? Hearts looks to be trying to go for the move. On the McLaren, he can't find quite the space to make it work. They all stay as they were, going through turn number 14. And Charlotte really seems to be struggling for pace at this stage. I don't know if she's got any damage. It doesn't have any visible damage, but just really struggling for pace as Gellett's now sends us up the inside into turn number 1, gets that move done, but he goes too deep, and Char's back up and under on the inside. Moves back up into P4, but Gellett's has the run again. Will be trying yet again to go for the move and move up into P4. But he's got EJ there on the inside as well. They go wheel to wheel into turn 5 for the 2nd lap in a row. EJ on the inside this time. Gets the move done, but he runs deep, hits the wall, and now there's contact. There's Perkins face, Charlotte facing the wrong way. His hand is disconnected, so clearly that didn't actually happen. Charlotte's facing the wrong way and tumbling down the order through that disconnect. Now, Hart is back ahead of EJ, following that hit into the barriers. All of them seem to be limping with some sort of damage. But EJ tucks in into the slipstream of the Aston Martin. He's going to be looking to make that move. There goes Gaz, and there goes Pass Mike into P2. They're all trying to follow on from the Racing Bulls out front. They can't quite do so as they start DRS swapping. Will that be the key to catching back up? As Spitfire Boy now goes past Arts into P4, goes past both of them, past his former teammate who goes side by side with him. EJ runs a little bit too deep into turn 14 and Spitfire Boy gets that 4th place. Fastest lap of the race from Ayan, who's trying to close back up to the race leader. He's got within the 1 second. Can he stay there by the detection point? Yes, he can. And now we've got a new dimension to this race. What can Ayan do? Does he have the pace to close up? And can he stay there? As Hearts and Spitfire Boy, that is, going side by side. Now Riv's racing, trying to go all the way around the outside. He threw 3 into 4, and I think he's made that move work. Gets the better run, and he moves up into that 6th place. That's not a good camera angle in the slightest. But Riv's racing up into P6, following the contact he had early on. He can quite comfortably work his way up into the top 4 here. Maybe higher if we find ourselves having a safety car. But with the current state of the F1 game, that seems rather unlikely. Hart and Gellert's going side by side through turn number 9. As the Aston Martin does stay ahead, but Gellert seems to be really wanting to fight him at this stage of the race. As Ayan now, within half a second of the race leader, Mike's got no pace really. He's struggling to stay close to the front two. He's fallen out of the DRS of Ayan, who only passed him at this time last lap. And now Ayan's going to put that DRS to good use to try and catch up to Troy up ahead of him in the race lead. Now they go down the strip again. Here comes Rift Racing. Wants that P4. He's not going to be close enough. It's going to be EJ that takes that position. Rift Racing wants to work his way back through the field. He's going to get the run on Spitfire Boy here, but he's not quite going to have enough. And Sergeant Gellert's going side by side yet again. I think the McLaren made a mistake on the exit of that final corner. Is he coming? No, he's not coming into the pit lane. He's... Oh, no, he totally is. You're not meant to... Oh, he sped in the pit lane as well. You're not really meant to cross the white line there. Can Rift Racing actually work his way through this pack? Or is he just going to be stuck there behind both of them? Because EJ's got the DR... Oh, Spitfire Boy has the DRS to EJ. And so, you know, the benefit for Rift Racing is completely nullified. As Mike has now closed back up to Ayan, 1 lap after practically dropping out of the DRS. And now Ayan himself looks to be dropping out of the DRS ahead of him. Mike goes deep. Through turn 12, he's going to lose a lot of momentum that he had. And that might have cost them both in this race. And just about going to stay within the 1 second ahead of him. I don't think... Charlotte's not rejoined the session. And neither's Samu. They're both just AI drivers. So that's great. I've invited Charlotte already, but she didn't join the first time. As EJ now gets a 3-second time bounty for multiple warnings. It's only lap 6 of 25. Only a quarter of the way through the Grand Prix. And EJ has picked up a first 3-second time bounty. He's gone off the track on 3 separate occasions in this race already. And he could be in trouble later on if these bounties begin to stack up. Again, Mike just falls out of the DRS as he goes through this first couple of sectors. He definitely seems to have lower wings than the 2 up ahead of him. But can he do anything with them when he can't stay close through that first sector? The gap's going to stay at 1.3. Ayan's going to get DRS again, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to do anything with it. Hopefully we do begin to see a bit of a battle at the front later on. He thinks about it on this occasion, but he's not close enough to go for that move. Will we see an Ayan getting involved in a battle for the race win? As EJ misses out on the DRS, through goes Rift Racing with a rather comfortable move in the end. And now he sets his sights on P4, which should be attainable for him later on. EJ with a big slide coming through turn 15. And it has cost him. It's cost him dearly. He's out of the 1 second already. Not long after getting within it, he's already fallen out. No, he's only just got overtaken, but he's fallen out of the DRS from that slide at turn 15. It's a big mistake, and it has cost him. This front 2, saving as much battery as they can for when they get to the strip. If they stay as close as they are now, End's going to be massively held up through turn 12, but if he can stay close enough, he should still be able to get the run on the race leader, and then he'll have a chance to take it for himself. And who knows what will happen from there. The 2 ghost cars are fighting for P10. And here we go. Does Ayan have enough of a run? He's staying close. He's going to get the DRS. It's within half a second as they go onto the strip. But will it be enough of a margin. Toy seems to be using more of that battery than AM behind. But again, he's not going to be close enough. He's just going to have to settle in the wheel tracks. He's going to be getting so frustrated because lap after lap, he's getting close and then he just can't stay close enough to make the move. Title of the stream's wrong. Normally it allows you to change it when you create the stream, and it just didn't this time. I don't know why. Twitch is weird. Normally when you start the stream it asks you, but it just didn't. And I noticed that at the time. I just kind of forgot to change it. I'll change it after. Rift Racing is still stuck there. The tires, I imagine, the tires will have swung in favour of Spitfire Boy at this stage. Those hards likely better than the mediums. And Rift Racing is just completely stuck behind him. You can see he really wants to get past. There's just no way through. As this time, is N a little bit closer? Not really, because he made a slight mistake on the exit from the looks of things. And I think, again, it's going to be the same story as on the last few laps, where N just doesn't have enough on the straight when it matters. Mike's got back within the 1 second, but I don't know if he'll be able to stay there from how this race has been going. Again, it gets down to within 3-4 tenths. But he just can't do anything. As Rift Racing finally gets past Spitfire Boy into P4. And now he's going to see whether he has the pace to extend that gap, or if he's going to be stuck with the McLaren on his rear. Because you can see him struggling with the tyres. The pit stop window must be fairly soon. And here's the consideration that he's just going to pit before too long. Off those medium tyres, get onto some hards. And I can't see the podium push, really. He's 14 seconds behind after 9 laps. And it'd be a brilliant story if he does get into the top 3, but I just can't see a realistic way of it happening. Mike's staying close now. It took him a few laps, but he's finally got back close to both of them. But again, it's this section of the racetrack where he loses so much time. He regains it down the straights, but he just loses so much around the sphere. And he's going to get the run. Or is he? Because again, he just gets... It's the dirty air that compromises his exit every lap. He just can't stay close enough to get the run. He's forced at this anywhere between 5 and 7 tenths on the straight. And there's just no way to get past. Rift Racing has opened the DRS on Spitfire Boy, although it's going to be close. Whether it stays that way by the detection point, I think it will. Yeah, so Rift Racing will be able to pull away, and having broken the DRS, he should be able to pull away, keep that gap as it is, or to extend that gap even. As Mike comes in for the lap 10, end of lap 9 pit stop. So around when you'd expect the medium tyres to go. He's done 9 laps on that compound as he puts on a set of the hards. Will be aiming for the undercut. He's going to come out just behind Spitfire Boy in P5 with a very lovely gap between... And he is in a very nice position, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. By the time he catches up, it will probably be the DRS straight. So he can utilise the DRS at pretty much no dirty air cost. Let's see what Mike can do. Oh, it's going into the wall. He's just about held it in such a way that he doesn't pick up any serious damage. That could have been very nasty indeed. He's lost a lot of time. But to be honest, all things considered, he's only lost half a second from such a huge mistake. Got no damage by the looks of things. If you're Ayan, he's very lucky to have survived that. Mike's now within, quite comfortably, the DRS of Spitfire Boy, but the McLaren 2 is going to receive DRS from Riz Racing. So that could halt his undercut push. As you can imagine, this front two are going to opt to come into the pits. Or at least one. No, they both stay out. They are allowing Mike to use the undercut here, favouring the tyres at the end of the race. As Spitfire Boy gets past Riz Racing, here comes Mike as well. He's got the run, and he's going to pull ahead quite comfortably before the final corner. The Circomp sped in the pit lane down in that 12th place. Already a lap down at this stage. Mike, with so much overspeed compared to Spitfire Boy under braking, goes straight on at turn 1. That's not going to help his undercut. He was so much quicker under braking. Thought he was going to go straight in the back of him. It's well avoided to have not done so, but it's a big time loss in the end. He gets past Rift Racing with ease, with a much better run through turns 3 and 4. But what can he do now? He's got to get past Spitfire Boy, but he can't go too early and compromise the DRS. Oh, very wide there. Goes the Red Bull of Rivs Racing. It's surprising how long he's staying out for, considering the position he's in. Surely you'd want to get away from the car on better tyres, but who knows? He's racing, I'm not. So Mike will get the run here. On the strip. He's made contact with him. He's so much quicker. He's practically pushing him through the corner. As the gap now, 17.5 seconds. You'd imagine Mike will be ahead by the time that the leaders come into the pit lane. But how much will the gap be? Oh, he gets squeezed right the way to the wall by Spitfire Boy. He gets past regardless. That could have been nasty. So they went down the strip. Into the pits do come the front two. And where will they come out relative to Mike, who's got 2 laps on those tyres? Will the 2 laps make such a difference by the end of the race? I'm not sure. Mike is going to be comfortably ahead of the pair of them, as you can see him there going past on the right-hand side. Mike takes the lead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. His tyre settles in just behind Spitfire Boy. It's going to take some time for those tyres to get up to temperature. He's a 1.5 seconds behind the race leader. What could it have been if Mike was able to clear the traffic sooner? Drifts Racing comes into pit lane from P5 that he was in. Rejoins the racetrack. Just there as Toy trying to go right the way around the outside of Spitfire Boy. Through the sphere, there's a bit of contact as the Racing Bull spares no time at all in retaking that 2nd place. He wants to get through this traffic. There goes AM Pass as well. They're all trying to go obviously get past as quickly as they can. I want to see the interval gaps. As AM's now 9 tenths behind. Can he get the run? Required to stay in the DRS. It'll be crucial for his race. I think he just about will, or he might just miss out. It's going to be tight. And does indeed keep the DRS, but he's got Spitfire Boy right behind him, who's, he's got no incentive to fight other than he might as well. He's got no reason why not. And does keep that 3rd place from Spitfire Boy. And that will be the aim. To just stay in that position for as long as possible. He's going to need to keep as close to Tora as he can. But they don't want to fight. Because now Mike is the enemy. Not. Mike's the enemy, not Toya anymore. Mike's in the race lead, and he's the one they want to beat. As Gellert has gone into the wall. At turn 14, he's lost another bit of his front wing. And he's going to be forced to make a 2nd pit stop already. Don't know if he'll be able to get a hard compound to put on. And Mike shot those tyres up to temperature nicely. Didn't seem to have the pace of the front of the other two in that first stint. But now that he's got the advantage, can he do anything? The gap's definitely coming down from Mike to Toya, but... And it is still easily exceeds DRS margins. And once he catches up, if Mike places his car cleverly through turn 12, you can compromise the other driver's line so much. That's the thing with this game. If you go slowly enough, people can't pass you. It seems counterintuitive, but it works with how much dirty air there is. So his personal best lap for Troy there. I believe Ayan still holds the fastest lap with a 34.0. They're all close with that best lap. But Spitfire Boy comes into pit lane. It's a bit early, I'd say, to be trying to go to the end, but it'll definitely be doable. As there goes Rush Racing, and has made the undercut work. It'll be a couple of seconds, maybe even, 3 or 4 ahead of the McLaren. And that's going to be huge for his chances of a P4. It should be pretty much his to lose at this stage. With 11 laps to go in this Grand Prix, he's just exceeded the halfway mark. Oh, he exceeded it a couple of laps ago when a lot of the drivers came into the pit lane. 1.3 seconds the gap out front now. It is definitely coming down, lap on lap. They definitely seem to have the pace advantage over Mike, but will they be able to get past is the next question. It's Toy now within that 1 second. But there's no DRS zone until the run to turn number 5. So it'll be a while before he can utilise it, and whether he will stay in that margin is another unknown. So it's back up to 1.1 now, so it is the first lap of the race from Tyre on this occasion. As he takes us through the first couple of corners, I believe he is within the 1 second. And that has massively dented Mike's chances of holding on to this race victory. Toya now has a great chance of taking the race win away from the Mercedes. It all depends on how well Mike can hold him behind through turn 12. It's a pivotal corner on this racetrack. It's really the only one that matters. If you're fast through turn 12, you can do many, many things at Las Vegas. If you can compromise your rival's line through this corner to get the better exit, you're in a great position. Here he comes, though. Half a second already. The gap's coming down on this straight. And with the DRS, I think this will be a change for the race lead. Triable to the inside. Mike's not fighting it. Lets him go. And he retakes the race lead where he started in that pole position so long ago. Samuel's gone off through the sphere section of turn 7 and 8. As Toya retakes the race lead. Can Mike stay with him? Or is he going to then be sent back towards where Ayan is and eventually fall off the back of even that? See, it locks up through turn 1, understeers a little bit, cost him a decent bit of time. Now Ayan is comfortably in his DRS as well. It's a little mini train of these 3 drivers. And to be honest, I don't see much change happening in it for a while, unless Mike can stay close through the middle sector on this occasion. You need to stay so close at Vegas to be able to pass. Either that, or you need a monster run through turn 12. And I don't think Mike is capable of producing either of those to the level that he needs to. I realistically think Toya does have this race win in hand at this stage. And that being said, at a track like Vegas, anything could change. But Mike in the DRS doesn't have nearly enough to get past. The gap stays at 0.3 of a second, and I think this is going to be how it stays for an awfully long time. You'd think for a track like Vegas it'd be so easy to pass, but if you could just play your cards right, no one can get past you. Mike giving it a bit of a push here. I don't know if he's trying to go for the lead, trying to pull away from A, and I'm not sure. But through turn 1, he does just stay. He does follow him behind. And through 3 and 4, does the same. Onto the back straight. And there's just not very much he can do at this point in time. 8.5 laps to go. As Samuel just got a 10-second time penalty for a straight 10 seconds for corner cutting. Seems to have just ignored the chicane through the sphere. And Mike's a bit closer on this occasion. The gap staying down at 4 tenths rather than anything higher than that. But I don't know if he'll be able to get past. So they go through turn 12. It's all going to depend on the run. Twice lines compromised. Mike locks up. Goes wide. And now he's going to be under pressure from A in behind, who gets the run on him instead. Mike was hoping to go for a move for the race lead. In the end, he's just about clinging onto DRS. But N doesn't have enough battery to do anything about it. The gap tumbles, but it doesn't tumble quite fast enough. Mike holds on to that P2, but for how much longer will he be able to cling on with the amount that he's locking up? He's regularly going deep for turn 12. Wow. Yeah, the issue with Vegas is it's completely DRS train dependent. There's a yellow flag. I think Rips, no, that's not Rips Racing, sorry, that is Comp, Comp 6, who's gone off. I just saw a Red Bull near a McLaren, I kind of panicked. It was Ribs from P4, to be honest. He's on old softs that will not be at their best right now. Has Ed just gone for a lunge? Yes, he has! N has just gone for a lunge into turn 9. And there seems to have been contact. It doesn't seem to have gone well. Is Mike trying to crash him out? Because that's what it just looked like. They've both lost tons of time. And that seems to have handed Toy the race win here. Ayan does have damage. I'm not sure if Mike does. But that looks like an act of retaliation on the straight there, which is by no means something we condone. And it never has been, never will be. As Ayan's going to try the move into turn 14. Mike's put him in the wall again. Yeah. It is going to be Toy who wins this race with a 2.5 second advantage that he does have. And squeezes his way past into turn 1. He's going to make that move stick. Moves back over to the outside line. But he runs a little bit deep. Mike's going to get the run. But he can't do anything with it just yet. He's got a lot more battery than N at this stage. So he has the ability to fight it if he so chooses. I think he was put in the wall by Mike. Honestly, I don't know whether he... I don't know whether it's just me over-exaggerating that, to be fair. As Mike moves past, back into P2 through turn 5. And he's going to send the lunge into turn 7. He's going to get it stopped within the lines. And Mike's going to do the same back. Definitely racing at the peak of aggression. It's hard to tell whether either of them has gone over the limit. I think they might have done. But from the angles you get in these positions, without their telemetry or anything, it can be quite hard to tell. And he's going to get the run with DRS. They've got a 20-second advantage behind with 6 and a bit laps to go. So there's no real chance that they lose the podium. So there's a yellow flag up ahead. As that's the kick. Samuel who's gone off. through the first couple of corners. He rejoins the racetrack. He's a lap down, maybe even 2 by now. I think it's just the 1 lap that he's down on the leaders. This is another 3-second time penalty for Circom 6. It's a slide for Ayn. He's falling back to a 1.5 seconds from Mike. If penalties don't have any intervention, it will be Mike taking that 2nd spot on the podium. I don't know if we are going to see the intervention of penalties. There's a decent chance we will, as Samuel's going off. Again, I think that's just letting the leaders go past him. Ayan's really struggling on those rear tyres at this stage, losing a lot of time to Mike. Andrew's racing behind him, but you know, with the 17 seconds, it's not going to make. He's not going to catch that much in the last 5 laps. But he may lose out to Mike, who's now got a 2.5, close to 3-second advantage over him. The gaps are all opening up. The race is dying down. There's no gap less than 3 seconds at this stage. I really dislike the dirty air on this game. They tried to turn it from DRS Train Central to a distance where you can actually race, but I don't know. They went a bit too far to the opposite extreme. The gap between Ayn and Mike is coming down. It's come down to 2.1 seconds from 2.5. But yeah, with a 6-second advantage out front, Toya is in. He's just in cruise control at this stage. Yeah, he's very deservingly set for victory here today. Yeah, he got the pole position, and then he's never really looked back. And he obviously, there was the moments where it seemed that he might be about to have a battle with Ayn, but it never really came. He had to get back past Mike later on in the race. That is the kick salver of Samuel going off again. He's retired from the session on track. I don't know if he's actually crashed or if he's... Oh no, he has actually crashed. He's hit the wall, he's gone off, and he's out of the race. Samuel, he's with only a few laps to go, was just... All he needed to do was just nurse it home. Possibly had some damage. I don't know. And that's his race over. With only a handful of laps to go. Mike's gone very deep. Through turn 12. He's lost a lot of time. Now Ayn's back in the fight for that 2nd place. Is Ayn going to be close enough to challenge Mike in the dying laps of this Las Vegas Grand Prix? I don't know if Mike has damage. Nothing visible. Yeah, 8 seconds out front now for Toya. And I've probably been saying his name wrong all race as well. Here comes Ayan. He's going to get the DRS. He's not going to be close enough just yet. He's not going to go for the move just yet. He's going to wait until the strip. He's going to sit back. He's going to wait. And he's going to go for the move later on. Toya now 10 seconds out front. He's so... yeah. He's absolutely... very, very deservedly out front still. He could... you know, at this rate, could probably make another pit stop with 3 laps to go in the Grand Prix. Obviously, he won't come out in the race lead, but he wouldn't be far off it at this stage. And it's not like it's completely just Mike driving slowly, because the gap to Rivs Racing has stayed mostly the same as Ayan moves past. Into second place, Mike wanted the DRS. He's going to get it. And now, what can he do? Into turn 14, he's going to breeze straight back past. And Mike's back into second place. With only a couple of more trips down the strip to go. 2 to go at the end of this one. Mike does seem to have enough left for that P2. And there's not going to be many opportunities left for Ayan in this race. He's running out of time. He's running out of chances. And Mike has a lot of battery as well. How is this race going to end between these two? This corner, where they made contact previously, and thinks about the dive every single time. Whether it's just to scare him, or if he's actually considering the move, we'll never know. Is into turn 12. There you go again. Mike goes deep, goes off the track, and that is his P2 chance is gone. He loses out to Rivs Racing. He loses out to Ayan. Now 5 seconds behind. Rivs Racing may even be in a chance of getting that V3. He's only 10 seconds behind now. He's within 10 seconds and going to come home P2. Following a huge mistake from Mike on the final lap, the championship leader goes off at turn 12, straight into the runoff, has to turn all the way around. Is now a 3-second time bounty as well. And that's Mike's race over, but Toya, 15 seconds. He leads the race now. In the final stint, he's absolutely come alive in the, just in the dying laps. As he leads us through into the middle sector. He's still lapping at a fairly respectable pace for no DRS. With that 15-second lead, he's got absolutely no reason to push other than for the glory. And fair play to him. Completely fair play to him. So we've only got 9 official finishes in this race, because the bottom 2 have not taken part in the race since about lap 5. But here comes Toya. Down the strip for the final time. 15 seconds he's going to win by. And he's going to get the car stopped for the final chicane of 14, 15 and 16. No risk at all. As he comes all the way to the line for a very comfortable victory. Under the lights in Las Vegas, Toya wins on his debut. As Ayan's going to come home P2 a whole 15 seconds later. Mike's going to be P3 a further 10 seconds behind, with Rivs Racing recovering well to take P4 in the end. Spitfire Boy is going to come home. What I believe is his best result ever of P5. It's going to be EJ P6 and Hearts P7, the final two, on the lead lap. Hearts will inherit that P6 after the time bounties. EJ P7, and that was Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's an airborne Red Bull at the end. We'll check the accolades as well. And it's just not loading, that's helpful. Yeah, I love it not loading. This is helpful. This is nice, this is fun. I love this. And can't see the accolades. There we go. Yeah, very, very well-deserved victory there. We got 18 seconds to have a look at if this one loads, which it doesn't seem to be either. Okay, yeah, it had the same issue in Qatar. It just didn't load. There we go. Where's cleanest? No one got cleanest driver. No one got cleanest driver. It just didn't give it. No accolades. So I guess we just have to end the stream there. Thank you to everyone watching. Again, it's a shame with how the race ended up going. Definitely not the best we've seen. But hopefully we'll be a bit better next week. And we hope to see you there.